I'm just going to highlight three things that we've been working on this fall. If you go to the next slide. In September, I told you about in-context learning, which is when we don't just have the model start translating a sentence, but first it retrieves similar sentences, reads those and their translations to get all that context into its activations, at which point then it tries to translate with that context in mind. We also talked about having larger personalized models, and I hadn't combined them for you yet, or the team hadn't combined them for you yet in September, but now we've put them together into one system that does in-context learning, but also is a larger model. What we've added this fall is part of the human feedback is not just learning how to translate like a professional human expert verifier would, but also learning how to use context in order to do so more accurately. So the context is now part of the training loop in addition to what happens at translation time. As we add complexity to the system, it could get slower, and that would be a huge problem. I mean, I think everybody's probably familiar with ChatGPT, where as you're using it, sometimes you just get a phrase and then it pauses for a while and then you see the rest of the sentence. And this can be extremely disruptive for any professional workflow. We need a system that's generating text as fast as people think and read. And what we've built as step 3 is a really nicely accelerated predictive generation loop that is now allowing us to bring all these new advances into the LILT platform by making it run really fast. Okay, so that's what we've been up to. Here's how it's working, and it's working really well. So on the left here, we see a chart of translation speed of our models. Normally, when you generate a translation, you just like pick the next word over and over again. That's called sequential translation. As the model gets bigger, that can get slow. You can see the most dramatic effect is that if you use an unadapted system, like DeepL or GPT-4 Turbo or Google or Amazon, you're really giving up a lot of translation quality compared to something that's adaptive and contextual. So that's been true for a long time, still true today. But what I'm excited to see is that as we've improved the in-context and larger model combination and the in-context learning loop, we've seen even additional gains over the last few months. That bar might not look a lot higher to you, but for us, it represents real progress that I think will make the human in the loop workflow really much more effective than it was before. So fastest ever systems, we've got best performance ever. We'll be bringing this out as our V3 system from language pair to language pair over the next year.